let's just jump straight into this explainer. We're looking at the modern job hunt. And honestly, it's basically turned into a massive, high-tech cat-and-mouse game. If you've been firing off resumes lately and feeling like they're just getting sucked into a total black hole, well, you're absolutely not alone. We are in the middle of a fundamental shift in how companies hire and exactly how candidates are starting to fight back.
Because here is the harsh reality of the situation. Way before a human being ever lays eyes on your carefully crafted qualifications, you're almost certainly facing off against an automated gatekeeper. It's a digital bouncer that can literally make or break your career chances in a fraction of a second. It doesn't care about your passion. It strictly cares about data.
To really understand this digital wall, we need to talk about Applicant Tracking Systems, or ATS. These are the exact software tools responsible for tossing out countless, highly qualified candidates just because of some weird formatting or a few missing keywords. See, an ATS uses natural language processing to mathematically rank your resume against the job description. It's basically an AI reading comprehension test, and if you don't speak its specific language, you just don't get through.
Which brings us to Part 1. The AI hiring arms race.
And Part 2, AI in human resources.
So employers are using AI to build higher walls. But look, from a corporate perspective, this tech is absolutely necessary for survival. Talent acquisition is just the very first step in a massive organizational machine, one that stretches all the way from hiring through onboarding, training, right up to retirement benefits. HR teams are juggling impossible workloads, and manually reading thousands of resumes for just one single role, it simply isn't scalable anymore.
When these companies actually plug AI into their pipeline, the benefits are huge. We're talking massive cost reductions and a lightning-fast time to hire. Plus, research shows that advanced machine learning models, things like convolutional neural networks and support vector machines, can provide truly unbiased data-driven filtering. It helps companies hit their performance scorecards by completely standardizing how they find top talent.
Next up, Part 3, ChatGPT versus Claude.
So, if companies are using algorithms to screen you, while candidates are now using algorithms to write. To figure out which AI is the ultimate resume builder, a recent experiment actually pitted ChatGPT against Claude in a head-to-head battle. The test was simple but super rigorous. Take a real product manager's resume and optimize it for a highly competitive Google Program Manager role. That is a tough leap that requires very specific cross-functional and supply chain keywords.
The contrast in how these two models approach the problem is wild. ChatGPT Thinking 5.4 totally played it safe. It offered a few rewriting options but explicitly flagged the candidate's missing supply chain skills. Claude Sonnet 4.6, on the other hand, went right on the offensive. It strategically reframed the existing experience, like taking a standard phrase like user research and transforming it into synthesizing data to sound exactly like a Google Insider. It wove those vital ATS keywords into the text so naturally. In the end, Claude Sonnet 4.6 took the win with a super impressive score of 4.5 out of 5. It managed to bridge that experience gap while totally mastering the ATS keyword game, creating a resume that machines could read perfectly, but that would also completely convince a human hiring manager.
Let's look at Part 4, automating the job search.
Some tech-savvy job seekers are taking this to an absolute extreme. They're moving way beyond just tweaking resumes and are fully automating their entire application process. One developer actually built a custom open-source terminal system called Career Ops using Claude Code. This thing has 14 different AI skill modes. It basically acts as a personal command center. It scans career pages, evaluates if you're a good fit, rewrites your CV for that specific job, and then uses an automation tool called Playwright to physically fill out the application forms right in the browser.
The sheer scale of this is mind-blowing. This automated setup successfully evaluated over 740 unique job listings across 45 different tech companies. By letting the AI do the heavy lifting of reading, scoring, and matching, the creator ultimately landed a high-level role as head of applied AI. Pretty incredible, right?
But here's the crucial thing. This isn't about spamming employers. The system is fundamentally built to evaluate fit. Instead of acting like a mindless bot firing out thousands of generic resumes, this pipeline was highly strategic. It really proves that the secret to winning this technological arms race is using automation to prioritize quality over quantity.
Moving on to Part 5, Inside AI Resume Builders. Now, if you aren't a programmer building your own terminal tools, you're probably going to use a dedicated platform. Looking under the hood, these tools rely on a really robust three-tier architecture.
You input your info on a React front end, it flows right through a Node.js backend and hits an AI integration layer. That allows for real-time natural language processing, constantly comparing your resume against live job descriptions using models like Gemini or OpenAI.
And honestly, the results speak for themselves. By using deep semantic analysis instead of just basic keyword stuffing, this architecture can take a standard resume scoring a dismal 45% and bump it all the way up to a 90% compatibility score. That is quite literally the difference between an instant rejection and actually landing an interview.
Finally, Part 6, the human element.
Despite all this back-end automation, terminal scraping, and algorithmic optimization, there is one final piece of the puzzle we absolutely cannot ignore. Academic research is super clear on this. AI is an enabler, not a total replacement. Sure, algorithms can beat the filters and get your foot in the door, but personal chemistry, empathy, and intuitive relationship building, those are exclusively human traits. Once you get to the actual interview, an algorithm cannot seal the deal for you.